The true benefits of analyzing an organization before conducting training is immeasurable. I'm Elise with Woodworth Enterprises, and today we're going to take a look at why training is broken and what can be done to fix it. When thinking of training, it's common to uncover perceptions that it is useless, boring, ineffective, and an overall waste of time. That is a problem. But before we examine how to fix it, we need to apply our innovative mindset. We need to frame the problem and figure out the cause. So let's ask why. One tool commonly used to conduct root cause analysis is called the 5 whys. The idea is that you take a problem and you ask why at it until you have a clear understanding of what is causing that issue. This exercise is often used in Six Sigma situations, but it is also useful when trying to innovate. While trying to frame a problem or ask thoughtful questions, why can be a very useful tool in itself. So let's dive in. We're going to look at an example. A company notices that sales numbers are down. It seems like people aren't talking well to each other. So they hold a sales training event, and the topic of effective communication skills is hit upon heavily. After the training, sales continue to slow, and tension levels on teams continue to rise. So let's start asking why. Why is training broken? Because it's often used as a band-aid fix, a generalized solution to address everyday problems. It does not address the cause or the reason that the problem exists. In our example, sales numbers were not hitting their benchmark, so sales training was applied to try to boost results. Further, it was assumed that if people had good communication skills, the office environment would improve. Why doesn't training address the problem? Because there isn't a clear picture of the problem or what is causing it. Typically, there are just a series of symptoms, a negative environment, complaints, arguments, and a lack of engagement. These are just a few common symptoms, but are not the problem themselves. In the example, the symptoms of slow sales and poor communication were identified. Why wasn't even a question considered before jumping to a conclusion or solution. So why isn't there a clear picture of the problem? Because analysis hasn't been completed or time hasn't been put into framing the problem. There was no attempt to frame the problem or ask questions to get a clear understanding of the cause in our example. Had questions been asked, the problem would have come into focus. It would have come to light that a recent reorganization of teams had left people confused and anxious about the status of the company and the security of their jobs. So why hasn't analysis been conducted? Because analysis can be difficult. Looking deep into an organization can easily be considered as unnecessary, unachievable, or too expensive. It is easy to look at the short-term bottom line, a snapshot of how things are going. It is easy to react to symptoms. The easy answer here is why the tough questions aren't being asked. In our example, management agreed on the symptoms and decided to reuse a sales training program that had been successful in the past. They selected what presented itself as the easy solution. Why is analysis deemed so difficult, unnecessary, unachievable, or expensive? Because the true cost of avoiding such analysis is unknown. There are many answers to this why, and there are a lot of fears and unknowns here that are just easier to avoid. But taking the easy way can be very costly. The company dealing with slow sales failed to find the root cause, and employees started to find positions elsewhere. Countless sales opportunities were missed. The pipeline of clients suffered greatly, and so did the company's image. An accurate valuation of this type of loss can only be estimated. This cost tremendously outweighs the cost that would have been incurred from analysis and thoughtful training. So there are our whys, but what can be done about it? Well, for training to be effective, it needs to be targeted, engaging, and relevant. Teams grow stronger from shared experiences, and in the current virtual landscape, it can be difficult. It's easy to send out a presentation or pre-recorded courses. It is hard to engage with a click-through program. They are rarely targeted or interactive. Innovation is the key to fixing the problems around training. Frame the symptoms or problems that you're seeing. Ask questions and conduct analysis to get a clear picture of the causes. Brainstorm ideas and develop training to address the causes of the problems your workforce is facing. This can be a lot of work, and outsourcing can be perceived as expensive. But if it sounds like it might be too difficult or too expensive, try to consider the cost of the alternative. Third-party analysis is often quicker, easier, less biased, and more effective than in-house analysis. Do you really know the cost of the third-party help? Woodworth Enterprises works with clients to identify problems and has developed a customizable insight tool for effective and thorough analysis. We do the heavy lifting, collecting and sifting through responses, and provide a report with identified strengths, areas of opportunity, and a clear picture of the company's culture. We provide suggested courses of action. We can even customize a class or course to target identified opportunities. Training is important, but a lot of it misses the mark. It is broken. By applying an innovative mindset and perhaps enlisting some outside help, it doesn't have to be. Just remember that whatever problems you are facing, you may address them in many different ways. But until you address the cause, the problem will persist.